Good day, good people. My name is Kabusekwele. I am an online math tutor here to help young children turn their struggles into their successes. This video is going to be different from what I usually do on my channel. It's not going to be all math based. Today we're going to be talking about self-esteem in young children. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because one belief that I have is that to do well in mathematics, you need to have perseverance. And perseverance is fueled by the knowledge that you can accomplish your goals. And self-esteem, by definition, is the confidence one has in their own abilities. So it's almost impossible to believe you can achieve goals that you set if you do not have any confidence in your abilities, which is why it's so hard to accomplish anything if you have low self-esteem. So I truly do believe that self-esteem is important if you want to succeed in anything that is difficult, including getting good grades in mathematics. So that's why we're speaking on this specific topic today. But before we discuss that, let's talk about what causes low self-esteem. Simply put, what perpetuates low self-esteem is an incorrect belief. A lot of kids have low self-esteem because they have the wrong view of something. Maybe they have the wrong view of themselves, the wrong view of others, the wrong view of anything really. For example, children's self-esteem tends to take a knock when they have inflated the value of something they themselves do not have, or they've inflated the value of something that in the grander scheme of things is not that valuable. It's not that important. For example, their looks. So many children have an inflated view of how valuable looks are. And because many kids feel they're not beautiful or good looking, they minimize their own value as a whole. This then causes anxiety and a lowered sense of self-worth. And this is so sad because it's literally based on an incorrect belief. This incorrect idea that what you are born with, or something that you have no control over, determines your value as a person. Another example of children having low self-esteem because of an incorrect belief is when they believe that they are not smart. They get this idea from their grades. Maybe they aren't doing so well at the time, or they aren't doing as well as their peers. They just have this incorrect belief that their current grades is a reflection of their abilities and their potential and their value as a person. They think to themselves, I'm not doing well because I'm unintelligent, I'm not smart. And unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do about that. I will always get bad grades and I just need to make peace with it. These are the deductions that your child is making about themselves, which lowers the confidence they have in their own abilities. The final example we're going to be talking about that takes a knock at their confidence and their self-esteem is what others have to say about them. Maybe they're being made fun of at school or even at home. And because children are so impressionable, it's so easy for them to believe what others say about them, especially during those ages where they want to have a lot of friends and they want to be liked. They just attach high value to what someone has to say about them. They internalize it and then they start believing what that person has to say to be the truth. Now, as an adult, it's a bit easier to cut out all the fluff. But as a child, it's not that easy. They're still trying to develop their minds. They're still trying to learn to think for themselves and to see the bigger picture. So it's hard for them to have their own individual thoughts and thoughts that aren't so easily influenced by incorrect beliefs. So as a parent, they are going to need your help. They need your influence and your direction to believe the truth about themselves. Why? Because in order for them to put effort into accomplishing goals, they need to believe that they can actually accomplish them. So try and find convincing truths that you can share with them to influence their thinking in a more positive direction. I'm going to share a few with you. These may not work in all cases. These are just examples of what I mean when I say share convincing truths with your child that can build their confidence. So first, we spoke about looks and the value that kids tend to attach to physical beauty. Teach your child the value of putting effort into things you have control over, and also teach them the value of managing how we feel about the things we do not have control over. Once they see the value of the things that truly matter, they'll realize it doesn't matter the size of my nose or how big my ears are, because those things do not determine how successful I'm going to be or what kind of character I'm going to develop. That's the beautiful thing about life. We actually do have control over a lot of the things that are important. Our spirituality, our character, how we treat others, how hard we work. So help them to see that. Because if they can correct their thinking, their self-esteem is likely to go up, because now they're attaching value to the things that actually matter, the things that we actually have control over. And they'll start detaching a lot of value from things they have no control over, and honestly things that don't really, in the grander scheme of things, matter. The next lie that we discussed, that most children are convinced of, is the idea that they are not smart and they will never be. The day your child understands that in order to do well in anything, all you really need to do is to understand it, that's the day they will realize that doing well in school is not all about having a high IQ. To do well in school, they just need to understand the work. That is something they have control over. That is something they can put effort into. It's difficult, but it can be done. Right now, the reason they're not doing so well is because they're focusing on memorizing things and they're not really focusing on understanding the subject. If they can put effort into understanding the subject, for example, mathematics, their grades will increase. So if your child can just internalize this belief, they'll realize that their potential is not bound to IQ, something which seems as though it is out of their control. Their success in school is actually determined by how hard they work, as well as how well they work. The last thing we discussed that can take a knock at a child's self-esteem is what others have to say about them, any negative comments that others make about them. Your child needs to believe and understand the truth that can help them get through any unkind words they hear someone else saying about them. They need to understand that nothing that anybody says, including you as their parent, determines their actual value, determines what they're capable of, how far they can go. It doesn't matter how often this negative comment is made or if everybody else agrees with this negative comment, it doesn't make it true. So help your child to internalize that, and they will see that a lot of the times what is said about them, especially if the person who said it did not have the most loving intentions, chances are that person's words are of very little value. However you relay these truths, or whatever truths you feel can help build your child's self-esteem, please be convincing. Because although they are young, kids are capable of thinking, and if what you're saying has holes in it, kids are very quick to find them and discredit them and just think to themselves, oh, mom has to say that because, she's trying to be nice, she loves me. When in fact you are actually sharing the truth, you're just not convincing with what you're saying. So do your best to convince them of what is a fact. That way their self-esteem will improve, and so will the effort that they put into trying to achieve their goals. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you are in search of an online math tutor, please be sure to go down to my website and schedule a free consultation with me. I will see you there.